So what are the benefits of dance apart from everything I just said? So here is just in general, I'm gonna go more into detail into each of these topics. But basically there's cognition, psychological well-being, neurological well-being, physical well-being, physiological well-being, and that has to do with the functioning of our organs and social connection. So overall well-being. Okay? Going more into detail, let's start with cognition. So it contributes to neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? It's a process in the brain that allows the brain to adapt to new things coming in. So either new neurons are born to help, or new neural networks are formed to be able to adapt to the incoming information. So our brain is changeable. It can change according to what is needed from it. So when we have like brain injury or neurological diseases, what happens is the brain has the ability of compensating for the parts of the brain that are not functioning. So the brain tries its best to create new neural pathways to keep doing whatever function we need to do. And that helps a lot with having this ability of neuroplasticity. Again, connection between the two hemispheres, I already said that. It can help with children cognitive development, and there are thousands of studies talking about how movement can help with learning, and specifically here dance, memory function. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. So Ronak asks, does the changes in the brain happen with more of a structural dance like ballet, swing, and Latin, or any movement that is generated with the body, with music, does the same? Right, okay. So when it comes to different types of dance, I mean, neuroscience has focused a lot on ballet, unfortunately, and it has not focused so much on other types of dance. I think mostly it's ballet, tango, modern dance. Yeah, I think that's mostly the dance styles that they study. So it's kind of hard to say, ballet is better than swing dance, or it's better than. It's hard to say. What it's known is whatever type of dance you are doing, it's good. Even if it's just, dancing in the club. There are some studies done on that, just randomly dancing in the club or, in a party. Now, if it's just moving to music, it depends, because you can be running and listening to music, or you can be in the gym and listening to music. And while that is great, it's not dance. Because dance, and I will explain this later, is in a few slides forward. Dance is more than just moving to rhythm or moving to music. Dance has this expressional aspect of this social, this language, this communication aspect, this expression aspect. So there's another question. Anna asks, my question is, how exactly does dance impacts those changes? What is happening there on a neural level? Okay, Anna, I am going to explain this more later because I have more slides. But just to answer you quickly, those changes are made at the neurochemical, our brain chemicals. They are made on the structures, like the impact it has on the structures. It changes the structures, and it changes the neuroconnectivity, communication between both of them, all, not both of the hemispheres, but also all of the brain areas. But I will go into this later in the course. Okay, I have slides on this. So Ronak asks to clarify, I meant something like ecstatic dance or dance that doesn't have a specific structure. Yeah, again, you guys are amazing because I'm gonna go into this as well. So later in the slides for tomorrow, it's not today, I'm gonna talk about improvisational dance and the impact of improvisational dance. And by improvisational, I mean also, ecstatic dance, all those kinds of dances that are not structured. Okay. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. Why? Because that's what we're going to do. We are not doing structured dance today. And I will explain why as well. Okay, so as I was saying, yes, reduce of risk of dementia, increases neurogenesis. So neurogenesis is when the brain creates new neurons. New neurons are born from our stem cells. It stimulates nerve growth and factors that are important for maintaining our health, our sensory health, sensory neural health. It stimulates the BNF expression, so that is important for survival of our cells, the growth and the maturation maintenance. So I think you can see here how important this becomes for neurological disorders, right? If dance is helping with cell survival, growth, maturation, maintenance, then it's helping in those disorders where there is degeneration to slow down that generation. Again, let's just say this, it will prevent with neurological disorders. It also has this, it regulates this pathway on the brain that is responsible for the stress response. Increases dopamine, noradrenaline, and serotonin. So again, the talking about the neurochemicals, and the key neurotransmitters that modulate the thalamus and the limbic system. So the thalamus, here we're talking, the thalamus is responsible for, it's a very important part, responsible for consciousness, sleep, sensory integration, and the limbic system, here we're talking about emotions. I think everyone must have heard about the limbic system. It's the conjunction of structures in the brain responsible for emotional processing. Synchronizing in dance, when we do synchronization with others, it'll activate the reward center. I've got a slide on partner dance. Okay, we'll get there. So I say this course is very complete. Release of endorphins, and this helps with the pain perception, and this will be enhanced with music if it's live music. So if it's live music, even better. And also, obviously, improves spatial awareness. So when I talked about dementia, this is the most exciting, in my view, study ever done. Because they done this study in 469 subjects, and they concluded that frequent dancing reduced 76% of chance of developing dementia. That is a lot. Okay, so I have the reference here if you want to later read the study in more detail. Now, cognitive and neurological well-being already said. Now, what is psychological well-being that dance can provide? Influence on mood, obviously everyone knows that. Influence on self-esteem, and this is in various populations, does not matter the population. Social connection and the feeling of belonging. This is important also for people who have neurological disorders. because sometimes, because the verbal communication may be impaired, and even the movement may be impaired, dance can help as a way of communicating and connecting with their family, friends, and or even just being part of a community where it's not a community where they're doing just physiotherapy, but they are actually communicating through dance. Feeling of mastery and efficiency, increased perceived competence, control of own body, and increased perception of autonomy and self-acceptance. Obviously, there's not all the benefits in here because we wouldn't leave this place. I'm just here putting like the main ones. They all proven by studies. I have the references at the bottom if you want to have a look at them. So physical well-being helps with balance, coordination, agility, and children motor development. When a child starts dancing very early, that's the best thing we can do to their motor system, literally. At the moment they are exploring how their body can move, that's the great time to introduce this, okay, because it allows them to explore even further. It prevents falls, and this has been proven in, again, people with neurological disorders, and or even older people who lose their sense of balance with age. Improves posture and flexibility, muscle strength, heart health, and cholesterol. So dance helps keeping your heart healthy and your cholesterol levels balanced. The rehabilitation, obviously, increase of energy, increase of pain threshold, and there are some studies about this, how dancers have an increased pain threshold, and this is because, remember, dance increases endorphins, responsible for pain tolerance, and because of the social connection, and social connection helps with tolerating pain. So for people who have chronic pain, this can be very, very good. It also improves the immune system. Yeah, there's never ending benefits. And this is through social connection. Social connection is important for our immune system, but also this muscular action, physiological processes that happen during that.
First of all, I want to say that it was brilliant. Thank you very much. It was a very profound experience for me. And I was very surprised by the variety of emotions or sensations that were evoked.
Mm-hmm.
And very interestingly, along with a sense of freedom that I felt,
Mm-hmm.
along with a sense of connection that I had, despite the fact that I wasn't looking at anyone, but I was very aware that we are in a collective experience here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To my surprise, I also experienced some very interesting emotions.
Okay.
I was not aware of those at all
Mm-hmm.
sometime. So one of them was a sense of anger. And
Okay.
I was very surprised because I have a feeling that I'm going through a period of inner peace and inner calm, but maybe it is not the whole story there.
Mm-hmm.
I also felt, to my surprise, a little bit a sense of vertigo or an I'll call it vertigo because it wasn't exactly an upset of the stomach, but slightly nauseous. And it wasn't because of the movement as
Okay.
such, wasn't because I was moving around. It was something really deep and really profound. And I saw it as a challenge,
Mhm.
something as an impediment, something stopping me from having an experience that I was really desiring to have. So that's very interesting for me to reflect. And of course, your input as well, I would think would be very, very helpful.
Mhm. Okay. So anger is usually in disguise. It's an emotion that is usually under sadness, usually, and is very disguised because anger gives energy too. So anger is giving you energy for action. It makes you go and do something. And sometimes we are in action and we think, oh, but then there is being can be fueled by anger. When you felt that vertigo or whatever uncomfortable, that can happen. So sometimes when we're going deep in the body can enter in a self-defense mode, and or that could be a symptom of your emotion or whatever is causing you to have that emotion. So I would say that sensation is uncomfortable. Don't go too much into it because that can harm you. Okay, so don't go too
Yeah.
much, but be curious about it. See if there's any images that come with it as well. Any images, any words, anything that may come with it, because that may give you more information. I know as humans we want to avoid pain, and that's normal, but don't think so much as how can I stop feeling this, how can I avoid this, but how can I integrate it? That's a part of you. If you try and put it in the corner, it feels abandoned. Okay. So try and how can you integrate that? Because you can be joyful and you can enjoy your life and you can do your amazing things with the pain, with the imperfections, with the things that are not so good, with the trauma, with the things that happened in the past, with everything. That's all of you. With each painful and vulnerable part of you, there's the rest of you, the strong, the dedicated, the caring. I know you a little bit now, so I'm saying things that I know that you are. So with that, it comes all of you. Anything, please email me if you see how you feel today, okay? I'm here for you, so I don't want you to, after the course, leave and think you are alone. So message me if you feel something, okay? And if you need anything, okay?
Thank you very, very much. It is brilliant. I'm totally mean it. And
Thank
actually, just to tell everybody else my experience, because I've been working in talking therapy, of course, I've been
you.
working with the speech, the words, the logos. Over the years, I realized the tremendous necessity of the participation of the body, the tremendous necessity, simultaneously and
Mhm,
at the same
mhm,
uh, concept, and equally important. So
mhm.
now I'm always promoting that
Yeah.
holistic aspect. As much as I appreciate very much talking therapy, certainly, but I first and foremost bring forward the involvement of the body.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. A lot of psychologists and psychotherapists are realizing that.
How they are trying, they're changing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, so good.
So
I am the psycho. I'm very cognitive comportamental kind of person. But you know, as soon as I took this course, it opened like a million doors. And since
yeah.
I started doing therapy myself, so I recommend this so much to everybody. Thank you. Thank you
I
for
did an
sharing.
Alexander Technique course.
I love
And
Alexander
I
technique.
had
I love
the-
it. I love it so
I
much.
love it. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
everybody, for
Thank you
listening.
for sharing, and thank for the group for supporting the Katrina here. Okay, someone shared something. Janice, I noticed some things about my physical. Hold on, physical body. I was a little apprehensive about moving, due to having some pain in the glutes recently. And when did I start to move, I felt resistance. But the further I went into my body and focused on the breathing, the less I noticed the pain. Exactly. So sometimes the pain that we feel just needs breathing and movement. And we avoid it because we feel pain and we don't want to do it. So it's you have to be careful, because maybe it's something that you shouldn't be doing much, and that has you have to go to the doctor, etc. But allowing to explore how much can you go and how much is too much. So that was great. I see like both of you, Nikita and you having like a lot of self-awareness and body limits, and in these exercises is important, because as you can see, emotionally this can be very invasive. We are doing body exercise, movement, dance, but emotionally can be very invasive too. So it's important to have these boundaries for yourself. Thank you for sharing. Okay, anyone else comment something? Hi.
Yes. I'd like to mention one small thing. At
Mm-hmm.
one point, you asked us to close our eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and I really felt the difference. I felt the gravity bearing down on my body, and I felt
Mm-hmm.
every movement as though I was swimming through
Mm-hmm.
oil. And I've never had that experience before.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of dancing on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
since the epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never had that experience. And I've also done what they call tantric dance, where you wear a
Okay.
blindfold for an hour or so. You're dancing on your own, and you're deprived of your sight.
Uh-huh.
And it's true, I've felt various things, but I think when you're doing that in a group of people, or at least I tend to try to sense what is going
Everybody
on in the room, even though I'm not seeing. But here, there was no need to do that. I could concentrate entirely on myself.
was safe.
And it was a new experience, and I'd like to explore that further. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. Tomorrow we'll do more of this. And sometimes you need a safe space for that. I assume you are at home, you are safe, so when it allows you to really feel, instead of being like, am I gonna hit something and am I gonna hit anybody and what is everybody else doing? It's that those networks, the external and internal, you to focus on the external, even though you are with eyes closed, because you focusing on the external environment.
Right.
Thank you for sharing that.
Because I think it would be very, very beneficial. I have to say it was brilliant. It was an amazing feeling for me today. I
Mm-hmm.
think it really liberated me. And there was
Mm-hmm.
something which I found very interesting. There was a lot more sensual energy. I was experiencing a lot of sensual energy, which
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been feeling lately. Uh, age sometimes kind of is a little bit tricky for us women. And
Yeah.
I and I felt something like a reawakening. And for me, that's a very revitalized and very
Mm-hmm.
refreshing and hopeful feeling. So I think it was excellent.
Thank
I
you
don't
so
know
much.
if